So before I get into the bulk of this video, I just want to show you the pains of trying to record an F1 ranked race and the pain I have to go through every single time I want to record. Now you may be thinking the pain is just the bad driving, getting taken out, getting a broken wing, just overall having a boring race. But no, the real pain is actually just trying to find a lobby where people actually stay in the lobby. On most occasions, if the lobby is below, let's say 15 people, people will just leave in the last 5 seconds before the lobby actually starts. However, on the other side of things, it could entirely be Codemaster's fault when the timer just continuously resets without any real reason why. Obviously this clip is sped up for the purpose of the video, however I was sat in this lobby waiting for the race to start for almost 7 minutes. So once I finally got into the lobby, I completed my qualifying lap. I actually didn't bottom my qualifying on this occasion. As we come up to the line, we're actually going to have a very successful qualifying in Australia and qualify P3. In a 20-man lobby I'll happily take P3, however I think it's fair to assume that I won't be challenging for the win this time. Well, if you believe that, the joke's on you, because off the line we absolutely blitz P1 and go straight up into P2. Really, the only word I can use to describe that start from P1 was just, well, embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, as we come through turn 2 we get absolutely shafted and we drop down to last place. Almost. Admittedly, it's not been the best of starts, but with no damage, we're happily going to push on. We make up a position immediately, thanks to some guy off in the grass on the left there. We're somewhat boxed behind Baby on board as we go through turn 6, but he runs wide, we get a good run, straight past him. Then we're going to be challenging P15 with the help of ERS down towards turn 9. Side by side as we head down towards turn number 9, looks like we're going to be on the outside, but he's used a bit of ERS to pull ahead of us. We're going to have to concede the position into the braking zone, hitting the back of him ever so slightly. We're going to try and get a good run out of turn 10, but we lose the back end and drop back down to P17. That wasn't the end of the lap 1 carnage though. As we go through turn 11, there is absolute carnage on the apex and we just go straight on through, back up into P15. We've got Osgo and Scruffy Ninja battling ahead of us into turn 13 with 2 cars ahead of them who look to be going considerably slower. 2 cars pull into the pit at the final corner, and at the end of lap 1 we're going to be finishing in P13. Yep, that was just 1 lap. Starting the second lap now, there is even more carnage heading down towards turn number 1. 2 cars are battling, 1 car is going incredibly slowly and just decides to take it out on me apparently. Thanks. The worst part is he used AI when he took me out and leaves the session immediately after, so I don't even get a chance to take him out in revenge. Obviously with no front wing, turning was incredibly difficult, which we demonstrated perfectly at turn number 6. And as we go through turn number 8, we're under pressure from boxes. Obviously he drives straight past us. I'm pretty sure he was the one that took me out into the first corner, so it's a shame that I couldn't do more to ruin his race. Despite our incredibly slow and painful lap 2 though, we're still going to make up a position at turn 13. It's turn 11. Fuck. And as we come out the pit on some fresh medium tyres, we're going to come out in P14 with plenty of the race to go and a lot of ground to make up. We make up a position exactly a lap later as Baby on board has retired from the race. I can only assume someone didn't listen to the gamer tag. And then at the end of lap number 4 we are behind, we'll call him Kieran for monetizational reasons. We make a little bit of contact through turn number 1 and you can see the car ahead of him also not having the best of days. We could get both of them in one move here. Kieran's looking to the inside at turn number 3, hopefully he can live up to his username and drive them both off track. Unfortunately he doesn't, he's weirdly clean considering his username. We're going to look to the outside of Mark, but that's not a move that's possible. Given the pace we caught onto these two, we're very clearly quicker than the pair of them. I'm just a bit scared to overtake both Mark and Kieran for obvious reasons. Nevertheless, Mark has the problem through turn number 6, so we're going to go up the inside through turn number 8. And now we can chase down Kieran all by ourselves. We're right on the back of him as we go through turn 9, but with a little wiggle through the middle of the chicane, we lose all momentum, and now we're going to be under pressure from Mark once more. He pushes us wide to the left hand side, goes upper inside into turn 12. It's 11, isn't it? Fuck! Mark gets alongside us and upper inside down towards turn 11, and ironically lives up to Kieran's name on Kieran. We get the cut back on Kieran, and it looks like we're going to get Mark as well at turn 12 before Mark turns in on us, spins us around, and we're back to square one. Much like what happened on the opening lap though, shockingly I still didn't have any damage, so I was free to chase down these two once more, and given how hard they were battling, oh, Mark's lost it. There's a celebratory weave for you. I was clearly quite happy to see him spin after what he did to me. So that left us with Kieran. Once again, we're going down towards turn number 9. We're very clearly quicker than him. I'm just a bit scared to try and move on him because I don't really know what he's going to do. We're going to get a good run through turn 10 and pull alongside him. We've got DRS and ERS to help us up the inside down towards turn 11. Hopefully he doesn't do anything stupid, and it looks like he is actually going to be a decent driver, and we finally get past him up into P11. From that point we're able to pull away from the name's going to get us demonetised, and at the end of lap number 7, Boxes has pulled into the pit. The guy that took us out, I don't know what just happened to me. Anyway, Boxes has just come out the pit. I think he is 2.5 seconds ahead of us. So for the rest of the race, all we can do now is chase him down. Despite being on 6 lap old tyres at this stage, I was somehow chasing him down and quite quickly catching him considering the tyre deg. We've got 6 laps remaining and we're 1.4 seconds off him. Come through turn number 2 however, I go for a spin, manage to avoid the wall, bounce off quite nicely, and we avoid damage. Luckily that's my spin out of the way. We've only lost about 1.5 seconds to him, so hopefully we can keep up the pressure, get back into a rhythm, and catch him once more. Actually, I've just had a thought. I just want to pause for a second. I think now is a perfect opportunity for me to tell you to subscribe if you're enjoying this video. If you're new around here and you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit the like button, comment something, and hit subscribe if you're new around here. Fuck, I already said that. I would genuinely appreciate a subscription because I really don't want to reach the point where I have more spins in my videos than subscribers, because I really feel like it's getting close now. Any help towards avoiding that milestone would be greatly appreciated. Hit subscribe. On to race number 2, you join me for a very wet Australian qualifying session. I don't really know what the session is with Australia this week, but nevertheless, we're doing pretty well. We currently sit P2 until we invalidate and just decide to bin the car, because there's absolutely no point in going on. So it's lights out and away we go from P9 on the grid. I don't really know how we got P9 because our qualifying session wasn't exactly stellar. Nevertheless, it's a pretty average start as we head down towards turn number 1. We miss our braking point, run wide, and yet we still get tagged on the inside. Once again, don't get any damage, but this Czech guy took us out, and once again, we're down to last place after turn 1. That's never stopped us before though. It's normally the barriers to do that, and as we go through turn number 3, there's a car on our left hand side promoting us back into P11. To add to this green car has a very weird moment which promotes us back into P10. I'm not really too sure what happened to him, but nevertheless, as you go through turn number 7, we've got yellow flags, which is a positive sign until I realised it was the 2 behind me, so the green guy is really not having the best of times. Focusing ahead though, we've used our ERS and slipstream to catch into the back of Czech. Going up the inside towards turn number 9, side by side of him, hopefully he's going to play nice. It looks like he does. Up the inside the P9. Through turn number 10, we don't have any incidents, however we are going to be under pressure from Czech now. He's got the better run, up the inside towards turn number 11. We're not going to cause any issues because I don't really want him to take me out. We're going to get the cut back however, down towards turn number 12. This time though, it's similar to the last race, but this time I bumped the inside curb, and it's entirely my fault. We've learnt our lesson now. We're not going to be trying up the inside of turn number 12 anymore because no one leaves you room there. Nevertheless, we've come to the end of lap 1, and despite everything that's happened this opening lap, we have not made up or lost a single position. On the road to recovery, we get on the back of a Ghost's car, who is clearly a Daniel Ricciardo fan, living up to the Daniel Ricciardo name, and not finishing in Australia. At the end of sector 1 on lap number 3, we're on the back of Czech once more for P8. Then P7, as there's a car off to our right hand side who's not having the best of times. And as we come to the end of lap number 3, we're still on the back of Czech, as well as Danny Boom Boom Pow in P5. This is just a video of phenomenal usernames today. I don't really know what Czech has done, but he's clearly pissed off Danny Boom Boom Pow as he's really given him a hard time through the final corner. Ruined Czech's run, but with the help of Slipstream, he's just going to stay ahead of us down towards turn number 1. Danny is very clearly quite pissed off with Czech because he's seriously backing him up. I don't really know why, but hopefully we don't get involved in this and we can just scoot on by the pair of them. They're side by side through turn number 3, Czech on the outside. Danny doesn't force him off wide, but Czech does run wide nonetheless, and actually taps the back of Danny's car. We go on the outside at turn number 4, up into P6. Hopefully that's the last we see of Czech. A lap later, Danny is making a move down towards turn number 1 on J-Pap. J-Pap's not looking particularly quick and also extremely laggy. Hopefully we can get past him pretty quickly. We're going to use ERS and DRS to try and get past him down towards turn number 3. Around the outside, he doesn't miss his braking point luckily, and we're up into P5, directly behind Danny Boom Boom Pow. I could just call him Danny, but honestly it's just fun to say. So far this entire race, Danny Boom Boom Pow has helped me out massively, and he does once more come through turn number 5, having a moment, managing to catch the car himself, but that promotes us up into P4. From the moment we pass Danny Boom Boom Pow, however, we cross the line, in on line, from chaos to competitive. From this point we really had to push if we were going to make up any more positions. We weren't that far from top 3, or at least P3, but now I was through the chaos, I had to really try. As we come out the pit we have a decent gap to the cars behind, so they won't be an issue, and we are 3.6 seconds behind Tunester for P3. So I think it's only fair, for the sake of content, that we go get him. From this point for the remainder of the race it was just a hot lap battle, and despite Tunester getting the fastest lap on one occasion, for the most part we're faster than him and closing the gap. I can only assume he used up all his ERS to get that fastest lap, because on lap number 11 we've closed the gap to 2.4 seconds and we can actually see him up ahead. And so long as we kept this pace up and kept closing the gap consistently, we would be within DRS in the final few laps. So all we have to do is keep up the pressure and... oh, he's fucked it. Well, that was anticlimactic. So as you join me on the final lap now, I could just cruise to a comfortable P3. We had absolutely no pressure from P4, and P2 and P1 were way ahead of us. We decided to get our race spin in, just because we've got the space to do so. There's absolutely no pressure from behind. I had to get it in, so might as well do it now. So my customary spin is out the way. We managed to get out the way on the final lap, which is a tactic I really shouldn't force in future races. While I'm comfortably out ahead, just do a spin, there's absolutely no worries. Oh, P2 has fucked it on the final lap, somehow. I don't really know how he's crashed all the way out there. Nevertheless, that means we're going to finish this race, despite being in last place after turn 1, we're going to finish in P2. Arguably undeserving, I would personally argue otherwise. I think I was fully deserving. I just want to give a big shout out to Danny Boom Boom Pow, who not only has a phenomenal name, but also helped me out massively this race. Without him I probably wouldn't be on the podium. How the fuck